everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. The Oscars aired last night and Will Smith was trending all over on social media and it had everybody talking. Now, he won his very first Oscar. He actually won Best Actor for his movie King Richard, which was well deserved. And he was also trending for smacking the piss out of Chris Rock. And this did create a lot of outrage. A lot of people were shocked. Some people were entertained and other people were disappointed. Now, I'm going to explain what happened. Chris Rock did one of his little speeches and he threw a jab at Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. He took a jab at her bald head and said that she should play in the next G.I. Jane movie. Now, this seemed like a lighthearted joke, but if you look at the look on Jada's face, you could tell that she was not pleased at all. She was actually very offended, and the reason why she was offended is because she actually suffers from alopecia, and she opened up about this on her show, Red Table Talk.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I've been getting a lot of questions about why I've been wearing this turban. Yeah. Well, I've been having issues with hair loss. And I'm going to tell you, it was terrifying when it first started. You know, I was in the shower one day and then just handfuls of hair just in my hands. And I was just like, oh my God, am I going bald? Mm-hmm. It was one of those times in my life where I was literally shaking with fear.
So they don't really know.
They don't know why. People said stress. People say, oh, you do have alopecia.
Now at this point, I can only laugh. Now y'all know I've been struggling with alopecia and just all of a sudden one day, look at this line right here. Look at that. Look at that. And so it just showed up like that. Now this is gonna be a little bit more difficult for me to hide. So I thought I'd just share it so y'all not asking any questions. But you know, Mama's gonna put some rhinestones in there. And I'm just gonna make me a little crown.
Now, Jada's hair loss was a big deal to her because she never had to go through something like that. Jada has experimented with different hairstyles, but she has always had naturally long, thick, curly hair. So when she started losing the hair, she became insecure about it. And even though she proudly rocks her bald head, her alopecia is still a sensitive topic for her. So when Chris Rock made that G.I. Jane joke, it hit a nerve for her. And I think Will saw that it affected her and he walked up on that stage and smacked the piss out of Chris Rock. And then he casually walked off and sat back down and said, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth." He was yelling at Chris Rock, and this, of course, was super awkward. The crowd was stunned to silence. Lupita was sitting behind him looking like, what just happened? Nicole Kidman was shook. Jay-Z was looking concerned, and Beyonce was putting on her best PR smile. I mean, there was a lot going on, and the audience was completely shocked that this happened, especially on national TV at one of the most prestigious award shows in America. Now, I did see some of the reactions on social media, and a lot of people were laughing at this, and some people were in support of Will, while others were very angered and disappointed. They felt like Will overreacted, and I did hear that they might potentially take Will's Oscar away. And this kind of saddens me because I hate that Will's moment was tainted in this way. But if I'm going to be honest, I do feel like he overreacted. I understand a man wanting to stand up for his wife. Honestly, I think that's admirable. That's honorable to me. But at the same time, there's a time and place for everything. He can't just go around hitting people because that's a crime and he could get sued or arrested. So he has to control himself in situations like this. And he also has to think about his career. Even though what he did was great for ratings, it's not guaranteed that Hollywood is going to be very forgiving to Will. He's going to get more scrutiny and backlash, especially amongst white people in white Hollywood, because he's black. It doesn't matter if he's always been very pleasant and very professional and carried himself well. He's going to get torn apart all because he lost his cool that one time. So I don't think it was smart for Will to react the way he did. But I don't fully fault him for reacting the way he did because I believe there's a deeper reason why he really spazzed out. For one, this is not the first time Chris Rock took a jab at Jada. If you don't know, back in 2016, Chris talked about Jada because Jada boycotted the Oscars. She started the boycott because she felt like the Oscars weren't acknowledging enough people of color. And Chris kind of took a jab at her.
Jada got mad. Jada says she's not coming, protesting. I'm like, is she on a TV show? Jada's gonna boycott the Oscars. Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited.
Now, I do think this might be an underlying reason why Will might have a problem with Chris Rock, but I don't think this is the only reason why he slapped Chris. Like I said, the reason is a little deeper than that, and I feel like he somewhat revealed it in his speech. He was talking about how he felt like God was calling him to protect the unprotected. When Will was filming King Richard, he saw how Richard protected his daughters, Venus and Serena Williams, and the media painted him like a crazy, angry black man, but no, he was standing up for his daughters. And I think this impacted Will in a lot of ways, and it probably brought up some lingering guilt that Will had, because Will has always felt bad that he didn't protect his own mother from his abusive father. And Will was only a kid at the time, so there isn't much he could have done, but he said he watched his mother get beat to a pulp, and he felt terrible and guilty for not standing up to his father in that moment. Now Will is at a point where he's no longer going to sit back and watch the people he loves and cares about get attacked. He's making a stand now, and he's showing people that he's not going to allow people to disrespect black women. He's tired. He's tired, and he's especially tired of people coming for him and his wife, Jada. People have been ridiculing him and Jada ever since that whole entanglement controversy happened. Jada had an affair with the R&B singer August Alsina, and once this situation became public, it forced Will and Jada to do damage control and address it, and Jada said that she simply had an entanglement with August, and this of course became the source of many different memes and jokes, and it was also very embarrassing. Ever since Will and Jada did that whole sit-down talk, their relationship has become a complete joke. And it's gotten to a point where Will can't escape it. It has affected his brand now. And when he does interviews, people bring up Jada's affair.
Thank you. We can't wait for more red table talk and more entanglements and no more entanglement.
You both have talked very candidly. It's a very famous story, infidelity in the marriage, and how you navigated that time.
There's never been infidelity in our marriage.
Never been infidelity in the marriage?
Never. Jada and I talk about everything, and we have never surprised one another with anything ever.
Now, at the Oscars, there was also another joke made about Will and Jada's marriage. Regina Hall did a joke calling up all the single hot men in Hollywood, and she called up Will knowing that he's married, but at this point, everybody believes Will and Jada have an open marriage. So Regina was like, Jada won't mind, and Will laughed it off, but I could tell that he was uncomfortable. Right now, I think Will is tired of people talking about his marriage and his wife. His relationship with Jada is not perfect at all, but they obviously have moved past that rocky patch. And Will is at a point where he's tired of people bringing up his wife, taking shots at his wife, and taking shots at him. So I kind of think that he's been accumulating a lot of anger and emotion about the situation. And when Chris took that jab at Jada, he just kind of snapped. He was done bottling up his emotions and laughing it off like he's okay when he's not. So there's a lot that Will has been internalizing, and he couldn't hold his emotions in anymore, so he spazzed out. And knowing what I know, I can't really fault him for losing his cool. Now, I love the fact that Tyler Perry and Denzel Washington came to comfort Will and calm him down. It was good that he had people around him that cared enough to help reel him back in, because he definitely needed it in that moment. Also, I really loved Will's speech, and I appreciate the fact that he took some accountability.
I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. And I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. But Richard Williams, and what I loved, thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you. I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. But love will make you do crazy things.
That was a really good speech. Congratulations to Will on winning his first Oscar. We're riding for Will. I'm not mad at him at all. I think he had enough and he just reacted. So anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.